So intentional branding is just simply defining and improving your visual message of your company. So your company has a visual message and that you're portraying to the world. And this is a lot of times where the shift needs to take place. When you get this visual message together, then I'm telling you that the sky is the limit. So sometimes what's missing is that you need to bring everything in together, and you need to look at everything over, like take it and do an evaluation of all the stuff that you're doing, all your product, or if you're just getting started, then you're in a good place, because then you didn't mess anything up yet. You're going to start from a place of knowledge. But you have this visual image, and you want it all to match. So you have this logo, and you have a business cards and designs and all this kind of stuff, and you want it to match. You want to be intentional with your branding. So it's important that you find the right visual representation for your brand. Today, our world is more visual than it's ever been. We are so visual. Instagram, Pinterest, these are leading apps out there, the top ones, and they're visual. So your brand is really important. So a lot of times, like just the last couple years, I started working with a lot of restaurants and storefronts, and just doing what we call revamping, business makeovers. And that's a whole other portion of our coaching that I never mentioned it. I've probably just first time mentioning in a public setting is now. But it's another whole side of our coaching that we started. And with these stores, these are people that have physical spaces and stores, and we started taking these businesses. All these businesses that we worked with already are making like $1 million. So they're at a certain place. But their growth has like either been stagnant or stuck for like maybe 3 or 4 years or something, and they were leading once in their industry. And so we come in and totally like revamp the place. And it's so fun because I get to mix interior decorating with marketing and business. But one thing that we learned is that a lot of times what happens is they're lost in their brand. Or their brand is grown old and they don't know how to, reframe this thing. So with social media as a platform, now it's important that you really focus on your brand, because image is everything and people want to see pretty. They just do. They want to see pretty. So if you go and make your cookies or your cupcakes, you want your packaging around your cookies and your cupcakes to be as important as the taste of them. You want it to look good, the presentation. Sometimes people are buying presentation, they're buying pretty over product. Sometimes they're just like, oh, I want that, it's so pretty. And then, the product sometimes helps them and sometimes doesn't, but they get pretty over product. So branding is everything. So make sure that you start taking a look. The first thing is doing an evaluation of your own brand. And you want your brand to be authentic. It has to be true to who you are. So you have to come from a place of authenticity. You can lose yourself in your brand when you're not authentic. So you don't want to go make something because you think that's what's hot. You want to make sure that you can really sell this thing, because you got to put your heart into the sales. So you want to say like, okay, can I put my heart in this? Now there's two kind of entrepreneurs. There are what I call passion entrepreneurs, where you come from a place of passion. Then there's a place for entrepreneurs that are just about I call it getting the kill. They're just in it, they get the kill, they make the money, and they get out. They're playing a different game. And I think I have a side of kind of both of that on the inside of me from the way I grew up. From my father, I come from a string of serial entrepreneurs. My father, his father, my grandma, all of them entrepreneurs in real estate. They owned construction companies and contracting companies and that kind of thing. And so I see my dad do business one way. My dad did business. He would do it, make $1 million, get in, he's out. I see him, he do a deal, he shut down the deal, we're over. He have a company, the company not working, he gets out. He gets out the game, get in another game, with another business. I'm like, what are we in? What do we do now? And that was one side of it. Then My mom, when we were growing up, she was into, she's back there, she was into cooking, and so she had her cooking classes that she taught, and her catering business, and she was passionate about it. The food had to be good, and all that kind of stuff. And so I think I got a combination of both of those in me. But I like the passionate side. That's where I come from, so a place of authenticity. Some of you might be the other kind of entrepreneur, and you're just in it, you're making money. You're in it and you're out. Those are usually people that are into a different kind of like real estate, stockbroker, that kind of thing. You buy stuff, you sell it, you buy it, you sell it. A couple of my clients, and I actually went in business with them on a couple of deals, but like they start a .com or a website or an app, and then they're starting it to sell it. But you still got to make a nice brand around it. But I'm not going to go way, way, way out, because when I sell it, you can do what you want around how that brand. Another company's going to make it their brand. Okay, you guys get that? Okay, so branding. But if you're talking about your coach, you got your books, that kind of thing, you got to come from your heart and gut. You got to come from a place of authenticity. This has to be you, because at the end of the day, you got to be able to sell you. So being authentic is key. So don't create products just because you see somebody else with it, because you got to be able to tell the why that you're selling it. So when it gets tough, you got to know your why for people to buy. Okay? So show people the benefits in your brand. And you can show them, pictures are worth 1,000 words. So you can show them the benefits of your brand, show them the prettiness of your brand. On Instagram, for instance, we did a little test. I opened up the journal and took pictures of the inside of the journal, which gives you like my quotes page or my picture page, which tells you what's in the journal, how to use it. It gives you the inside of it. It's all pretty. We markered it up and put all these stickers and stuff on it. And then we did pictures of just the cover of the journal. And then we did a sale. So sometimes I do a sale on Instagram, and I put it out, and the sale was like just a 24-hour sale. Have any of you guys seen that, been exposed to that? So I put a sale on Instagram, and I'll say, this will expire in 24 hours. If you want this, put sold and put your email. Okay? So we've done that. So I've done it two ways. We do what we call split marketing testing with our brand. So we put up the success journal up like this with the cover. And I say, if you want it, put sold. So when we did that one day, we did about maybe 7 minutes, we sold 28 journals. Then I opened it up to give you some instruction and wrote all the stuff about how to use the page and all that stuff on the inside, but it was white. And I said, put sold. And I'm thinking, they're going to love this because I gave them so many details. We sold about 2. So it let me know that people didn't even care what was on the inside. So if you don't care, why am I going to keep trying to push that over on you? I went back and put the cover up, and we sold a whole bunch more. Then I did a picture one day when we actually had a company call us and ordered like 100 journals. And they wanted them really quick, and they wanted them for their staff it was right before Christmas. So I had one of my girls, Michelle, she was carrying them. She was walking from one room to the other with the journals in her hand like this, and she was taking stacks. And as she was walking, I said, oh, stop. Oh, my God, that's a picture. Stop. So I was like, go outside so we can get in good light. So this isn't really how it happened, because she was really in the house and it was dark. But we went outside where it was light. I said, go outside and hold that pose. So she went outside, and she had the journal stacked like this, and she's holding them. I was like, make sure your nails are done, because your nails are going to be on that picture. So she was like, oh, man, the one's chipped. I'm like, nope, go polish the nail. So she polished her nail, came back. We get back in position. She goes outside. So I was like, do what you were just doing. Just like do what you were doing. So she's like, okay. So she like walks, and she's holding the journals like this, and we take a picture of them stacked up like that. And we put it on Instagram. You can go back in my feed and see it. And then I just say what I was doing. We're mailing out stacks of journals to a company. They just ordered them, such and such and such and such, et cetera, et cetera. I tell a little bit about the story of what happened. What do you think happened? You tell me what happened. What happened? What kind of orders did I get, though? Bulk orders. Other people bought what? Stacks of journal. Because they wanted to have the same thing that somebody else had. I'm not going to let XYZ company outdo me and my company. So if they're getting 100, we want 200. Well, fine. We'll do it for you. But it let us know that that's branding and marketing. But it's authentic. It really happened. We really were working with a company. We really were taking them outside. We didn't make up the picture. We really had a big order. She was really walking from one room to the next. I just happened to catch that in motion. I seen it, and I seen something beyond that. I posted it, and then it just kind of had an explosive effect. Then other people were like, I want a stack of journals. They didn't want to get one. They wanted us to ship them that same look. And so we did it, and they seen the cover. They didn't know what was in it. And they didn't even ask me when they bought it. Nobody asked me to explain the journal. So it could have just been a journal with white pages in it, like most journals, but they didn't care. They wanted the cover. So that let me know that my brand identity was good. Okay? So that's branding. So be authentic. Infuse your branding in everything you do. And so even your price list is a branding tool. So the way that your price list, the way it looks, and the way things are positioned. So you have a price list of all my products on there, not most of them. Is it out on your seat? Yeah, see that me and Ari stuff? Okay, so you can take that list, and even if you didn't get everything you wanted today, you can say, you know what, there's some other stuff I'm going to get. There's some of you that have everything we ever put out. Like you have every product you ever had. One of our ladies told us in 30 days how much money she made from just taking one product, listening to it, then she made money. Then she did another product and listening. And she was just really getting all the products and using them. She was taking them, but that right there, that order form is part of my brand. So that's part of the way we do things. It's a list. You get to see it. It's excellent. It looks nice. It's carbon. It has 3 sections to it, or it might be 2 now. Is that 2 or 3? 3? Yeah, 3, and that's for them, so that they in the office know what to do with them. So one part goes to the branding department, so they know who bought what and what items they got, and they do a whole little form and tell me so I know what's selling. The other part just goes for us, so we have our sales and our records, and then you get your receipt. Okay? So brand everything. Choose your brand colors. So what are your colors? Like ours we have multiple colors. So Success Mastery is pink, black, and white, and gold. Then the rest of our brand is multicolored. I have 5 colors. I don't tell people to do this. We did it and just happened to work. Usually you want to keep your brand around 2 or 3 colors, but ours is pink, orange, yellow, green, purple, and black. And it just works. You see the room. It's all of these colors, but we use it in everything. So the journal has all those colors in it. So those are we've been doing it for years. But now that I did it, I'm stuck with that. I got the flowers, everything I got. So now you got to know what you're getting into, because now when I go and do print jobs, I can't do no 2 color. I have to do full color everything, because that's my brand. So think about that when you're coming up with your brand, choosing your colors. Make some branding boards. Like Ariana had a branding board for her blog and for that kind of thing. But you can gather images and have a branding board. When you get ready to launch something new, do a branding board around the new launch. How do you want to launch the new product? Also, going back to that just for a minute, make sure that you know what colors mean in your industry. Because colors are part of the branding too. You have some of the wrong colors, like we know that red and yellow are stimulating to the appetite colors. We know that green normally is with healthy and vegetables, or going green or eco. And so green also can mean with money, the right color green. So you want to make sure you kind of know when you're picking colors that it matches with the industry that you're in. So you don't want to have certain colors in certain industries, because they're not going to sell well. Okay? So if you do candy, you don't want to have a candy company and your colors are like brown and yellow. You have to do, it's going to be hard to market that. That doesn't sound like, doesn't seem like it's going to be sweet. When you think of candy and sweetness, you think of what? What color? pink, red. You think of bright stuff, right? So you want to think about that when you think about your industry colors. You're marketing the kids. You want primary colors. You know, and so just think about different things like that. Define what your brand creates. So what do you create? What does your brand actually create? So that you don't just start making a whole bunch of tools. You can be in a seminar like this, you can walk away and think you're supposed to do so many different things, but is that authentic to your brand? So like my journals and that kind of thing, why I can sell so many of my products because most of my products have a story behind them. And so I don't even think I finished the one earlier when I was talking about my dad. I kind of went on the rabbit trail and never made it back to the why I trailed. But anyway, in that story, I talked about how we end up with the time management seminar in my journal, but also I was recording things my dad used to tell me, and I did a whole course, The Secrets My Dad Taught Me. And I just did the secrets of my dad, the things my dad taught me in business growing up. From the time of 13 to the time I was like 21 years old, until my dad passed away, I hung out with my dad all the time, every weekend, and he really taught me how to do business. At 13, he had me with the good old boys club. He would make me go to seminars and we laugh about it now, but my mom knows he was in real estate and he owned all these houses and buildings. And at 16, when everybody else was hanging out, I had to go collect rent. This is when you had to go to people and knock on the door and that kind of thing. And he would always send me. Now, you ain't going to send none of the guys. He would send me, the youngest, the girl in the family. And he sent me because he would be like, one thing about Stacia, she always comes back with my money. And so everybody, my siblings, they all got mad at me because I always got the most money. But I was like, I should get the most money because I'm collecting the most money. I'm going out and I'll be knocking on the doors and people be like, we don't have the rent. They played all kind of games. Not here. I'm like, I know you're here, your car outside. I have to, all kind of stuff they would go through. But it taught me about sales, getting people to go ahead and just give us the money, how to be a landlord, just all kind of stuff. And it also taught me that I knew I didn't want to do that when I got grown. I'm not going to do this. But nonetheless, I said that because you want to know, why are you in it? What is your brand creating? So I took those secrets, and it didn't make me go and create, I could have been okay, let me go do a construction course. I didn't want to be in construction. So he taught me a lot of stuff about construction, but I didn't take out that and go make a construction manual. It made it authentic to me. So I went and did a manual on all the lessons that my dad taught me about just the business in general, about collecting money, about the mindset of people, about how do you make money, about how, to make more than $1,000 in a week and that kind of thing. So I took all that and put it into a whole course. And then that course could make money for me. So you want to define what it is that your brand is so that you can make the tools around it.